My name is Chris Chittick from Regina, Saskatchewan, and I'm the videographer for Tornado Hunter. So my job on the team is I do the video, I do the editing of the videos that you see like on YouTube. I started chasing back in 1998. I've seen over 400 tornadoes in my time. Like, this is my passion, this is my love. I'm really not an office guy. Like, I can't do a 9-to-5 kind of thing. The Ford F-150, it's like one of our people that we chase with, you know? Ricky's our driver. So having Ricky put us in that proper position for me to be able to get that shot, you know, you need to have faith in your driver, you need to have faith in the vehicle itself. And I have complete faith in the vehicle. You know, it's like part of the team, if you think about it. Personally, I don't see any dangers in it, but Ricky and Greg kind of flip out a little bit.
Stop.
We do live streaming. So for example, last year during the El Reno storm, we had about 50,000 people watching. And it happened to be a 2.5-ton farm truck flew in the air and landed right in front of us.
Why is this guy stopping?
And at that time, I landed on my laptop, shut it. They heard Greg going, oh my God, we're gonna die. And then all of a sudden lost signal. So literally my mom called me about a minute later. She said, it's time to get a real job, become like a banker or a teacher or something. Like, you need to quit your job. And I said, tough cookies, yeah.
So, Dave, tell me, how did this event get started?
Well, Formo Motors, one of our firefighters is a salesperson at Formo's here, and they approached us to join in with them to help with this function. Being that tornadoes are create emergencies, they thought it was a good matchup. So the money that's raised is going towards an off-road rescue equipment. We haven't exactly specified the piece that we're going to be purchasing, but it'll be for off-road rescue.
Okay. What kind of things might be included?
Well, it could be an ATV type machine of some sort. That's the most likely area. That's one of the things that we don't have right now, so that's something that we're looking at.
So, Chris, how did you get into storm chasing?
Started back in 1998, started out as a hobby and saw that I could make some money in it, so turned it from a hobby into a business, and it's been history ever since.
Where and when is the best place and season for seeing tornadoes?
Typically Texas is the best state because it's the largest state, so they have the most tornado count, but I tend to find every single summer, every single spring, summer, fall area, it differs. Like, for example, last year was Iowa, the year before that was Nebraska, the year before that was Kansas. But typical tornado count is Texas is the best state.
So what's the Canadian connection? Why would you be based in Regina, Saskatchewan?
Yeah, so kind of a long story there, but left my old team based out of Oklahoma, kind of sold that part of my business, heading back to my folks' house in Michigan for the holidays, and Greg Johnson, Tornado Hunter from Regina, gave me a call, offered me a position on his team as a video guy. So the plan was just to move up here for storm season, because that's where the team is based out of. And second night up, went out for a couple adult beverages and met my future wife. And so now I'm full out Canadian citizen. Not a huge fan of you guys' winters, but getting used to them.
So what's the craziest tornado you've ever actually seen here in Canada?
Craziest tornado I've ever seen here in Canada was probably the Eli, Manitoba tornado back in 2007.
Did you see it?
I did.
If you are out
Yeah, I got a really good video.
please be safe. Be safe. Don't try to chase them.
Yeah,
That's not a good idea.
It was an amazing tornado. Unfortunately,
seen a lot
it did
of
do some
footage.
damage.
Yeah.
It was rated an EF5. I think that was the largest tornado ever for Manitoba.
So can you tell us a bit about this F-150 truck you got here?
Yeah, so this is one of two. This is our earlier truck. This is a 2012 F-150. It's got a bit of a lift kit put onto it, off-road suspension kit, bigger, beefier off-road tires, rollover protection system, all compartmentalized custom areas in the back here to store all of our gear and luggage. And the coolest thing I think is the whole thing is sprayed with Line-X. And it's a bulletproof material that they use, that they work with the military. And because our biggest issue when we're out there chasing is not the actual tornado itself, but it's all the flying debris that's going to do damage to us.
But if the truck ever got picked up,
If the truck got picked up and tossed, hopefully the roll cage would help out a bit, but it would still probably be injured.
Have you ever thought that you were going to die in a storm?
Never had the thought that I was in a dying storm. I've been close, but then the next day I usually find I'm over it, but never thought I was going to die during a storm chase.
So we got the tornado sirens going off right now in this small town, Pilger, Nebraska, and we got this giant tornado on the ground right here, right for that town.
Some people would call you crazy. You're asking for trouble, like those 3 storm chasers who died in Oklahoma 3 years ago. What would you say to them? They say you're crazy.
If people call me crazy, I'd be the first one to admit it. The storms are going to happen regardless, whether I'm there or not. So by me being there, I'm just documenting it and sharing it with the world.
Sounds good to me. Man. Now, I've seen a few of your videos. I think you had a bit of a dry spell, missing some storms a couple seasons back. What keeps you going?
You know, every season you might be the rock star that season and get hit every single storm. It tends to be like a storm line orients itself northeast to southwest, and there'll be storm all the way down the line. If you're on that northern storm, the one storm to the south might fire up and you can't get there in time, so you end up missing it. But what keeps us going day to day, season to season, it's just that drive of wanting, for me personally, is to get the best video of that day and then share it out with the world.
We just hit the lottery.
Oh man, this is, yeah.
This doesn't get any better.
Yeah, we have to get closer, Ricky.
So what do you do in the off season when you're not actually chasing storms?
In the off season, doing appearances like this, like I am here today, here at Ford dealership here in Swan River. We're sponsored by Ford, so every time I'm in an area where there's a dealership, I try to hit up a couple schools, talk about the education side of things, the safety side of things, and then make an appearance at the Ford dealership.
Maybe you can tell us what you're doing in the next 24 hours. From here.
So from here, it's about 3.5, 4 hours, not quite sure, back to Regina. Got to do some laundry really quick when I get home tonight, repack all my camera gear and personal gear, and then we're hitting the road at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning and heading down towards Amarillo, Texas, which is roughly about a 20-hour drive. And this will be our first trip of the year, and we'll be on the road for the next 3 months. We do a tour this year. We're running tours for the next 2 months, and we're taking people. It's, you know, we've had a lot of response saying like, oh, why don't you bring people with us? This is our first year we could actually do this. So it was a big hit, and bringing people out, checking things off their bucket list for them.
Okay. So if a person finds himself, they see a tornado coming and they want to get outside with their camera, what's your suggestion for them?
If someone sees a tornado coming, and if it's not moving left to right or right to left across the horizon, that means it's either coming at them or moving away from them. So I'd make sure first of which direction the tornado is moving, and then if you have time, go out, film it, and just email it to me, and I'll share it out.
Okay, well, I'm definitely hoping to get some myself.
There you go.
So thanks a lot, and good luck on your next trip.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, who's this? Corky. All right. Sparky's not really talkative.
Yeah.
Today we're going to talk about fire safety in your house. So we're going to touch on a couple things. The first thing we're going to talk about is the fireplace. Make sure that there's a screen in spot so the embers are not flying out of the fireplace. Also too, I'm sure everybody has a stove. If you're ever cooking and your pot starts on fire and you have some flames, what would you do?
Screen.
Turn off the stove.
First things first, turn off the stove. And second, you just put the pot on the stove. Once you put the top on the pot, it'll extinguish the flames and just cool it down. And same thing if there's smoke coming out of your oven. If you checked your oven and there was smoke coming out of it, All you do is you shut off the oven and close it and wait for it to cool down. If there's smoke in your house, who could you call to help you with that?
Biomed.
You're right. And who do you call? Which number? Do you know the number to call?
911.
Good answer. So you press 9 and 1 and a 1. And you can talk in there.
90,000 kilometers, 200 tanks of gas, and 100 epic storms can add up to only one thing.
Tornado warning.
Circles on the ground.
The most colossal adventure in the history of the universe.
The shot of the century.
This is Mother Nature at her best, and I love her to death.
Tornado siren's going off now.
This is a huge, what we call a whale's mouth.
We gotta go.
Join Greg,
The game is on.
Ricky,
That's what we live for. That's what we chase for.
and Chris.
Get me up underneath there, Ricky!
They chase their way across North America on their quest to hunt down the most extreme weather on the planet.
There's the tornado. Whoa! Look at the size of this thing now. Let's go, everybody in now.
Let's go.
They are the Tornado Hunters.
Tornado on the ground.
That's on the ground. Yeah. Oh, we missed it again. We always wreck that moment.
Tornado Hunters, series premiere Sunday, October 18th at 9, only on CMT.
Is this what you guys do for a living?
This is what we do for a living. Chase storms, yeah.